All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the top 16. This is the semifinals of Mox Masters June. We've had quite the competition today. It's another sold out event, max capacity. And this is going to be the first of the semifinal pods we're going to look at. We may have time for more later, but some familiar names to look at already among our competitors in this pod. You can see first seed there's Comedian, piloting yet another different deck. We've seen him do quite a bit of switching up since kind of his debut in this tournament series. Kind of labeled as a Winota player, has switched to Kinnan, and now a little bit of Dawnweaker Thrasios action.
Yeah.
Then we got Meister Pong. A little bit of interesting interactions have happened with this player relatively recently. Overall, definitely on their team, and love to see them coming, showing up with Kinnan and finding their way into the top 16 here in second seed. Got third seed is a copy of cedh Weatherlight Captain, a commander I think I've seen a little bit more of recently in cedh than I've ever seen before. Certainly gaining quite a bit of popularity and seeing some success here in its take on like infinite mana planeswalker stuff. And then last but not least, we got Funny Name there with Atraxa Grand Unifier, a deck I have literally never seen played. It's something I tossed around the idea of playing with, but couldn't really get it figured out. This here looks to be like a food chain kitten setup, and then you go on to win by doing the Atraxa thing. So all green decks in the top in this top 16 pod here. So I know you're excited to see it. Three of the four decks have Invasion of Ikoria in it, so that should tell you how hard we're leading into the green stuff. And as you can see, they're looking to see if they're ready to start. And I believe we can go ahead and kick things off. And there is a gemstone action here for Pingmeister, going to be able to get a little bit of mana ahead of schedule there. And Shiny, all these players are kind of setting things up. Who do you like? First seed, just can't root against Ian?
I mean, Ian, listen, Ian is a known competitor, good player, always top 16, top fours. I don't know who I'm leaning toward. I've been a fan of the cedh deck for I won't say for a while, but I enjoy toolbox deck that can figure out how to play through any piece of what the board is doing. And turn one Remora. How am I? Might be a long one.
It's very easy to say that Ian's going to be ahead here, as a Polluted Delta is going to find some manner of blue land. I'm sure that was announced, and we're going to see Mystic Remora on turn one. Response, the turn 0 Worldly Tutor from Ping. Yeah. Can't get a great look at what that is.
That's a Bloom Tender.
Tender.
Well, that normally the go-to. Yeah, normally the go-to dork for Kinnan. But yeah, early turn one. I mean, listen, I believe all these green decks, Seaborn, I think if you're playing green, you want to play the mid-range game plan. And that's kind of what we're seeing with all these great tournament results. Like, this is another fish coming now.
Yeah, that's another turn one Remora. So this is interesting, right? Two players with turn one Mystic Remoras. Obviously first, third seat. If you're in fourth seat, you can't be super excited about that. But I mean, even if you're punny, you're looking at a creature-based combo. So if you're get food chain in play, you can basically cast creatures the rest of the time, and you're golden. So you don't actually need to like feed these fish any number of cards in order to execute your combo. And that's going to be true as far as the development of mana for a lot of these green decks that have things like mana creatures to develop their mana. We saw Ping play a Bloom Tender in the face of Ian's fish, another fish follow-up. Certainly Punny, I think, is going to be looking to just develop mana using only dorks here, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking keeping the fishes in this pod is very creature heavy. A turn one Esper Sentinel. I don't think this fish is going to stay around a lot. I think a lot of these decks can just let the fish die naturally and not feed it, because they're all creature-based decks.
Right, and Punny, like you mentioned, great start here with a Esper Sentinel. Doesn't have to feed any of the fishes, gets a card advantage engine of their own going that they don't have to pay mana for. And, we're back to Ian. He does choose to pay, but Ping is someone that's going to look to probably just develop something like Kinnan on their next turn, and then suddenly, they haven't really fed the fish at all, and they're doing great on their development. No kind of stifling of their development at all, as Ian going to go ahead and fetch again. Take a look at the hand, seeing exactly how he wants to fetch with what looks to be a Misty Rainforest.
I definitely liking this game. A lot of people are in the community with the hype of Bowmaster, that these creature decks is gonna eventually get pushed out. I'm not sure about it, but we might be seeing the last true time that we're going to see a bunch of creatures hit the battlefield. And here we go,
We've
the
been
turn
calling for
two
the
Kinnan.
downfall of creatures for a long time. Yeah, as Kinnan is
You
going to
can't,
interplay here in turn
you
2.
can't kill the green decks. I apologize. You can't be a Grixis fan all you want. Green is too powerful. Can't leave home without it.
Oh, how about a Phyrexian Metamorph follow-up? What is that one looking to copy?
Do you want a pedal
Another
here? Or do
Bloom
you want
Tender,
an Esper?
or do we want an Esper? Yeah, I think it's between Esper and Bloom Tender, right? Like either you want to really ramp up your mana, or you want to get a card advantage engine of your own. Didn't get a great listen to what exactly was named there, as Kilgore going to play a Plaza of Heroes, it looks like, as their land for turn after paying for fish. And back to Punny we go. It looks like it was. Yeah, there we go. Copied an Esper Sentinel. So yeah, that makes sense.
Fantastic.
Either
Yeah.
you kind of have to pick one path or another. It looks like Ping is happy with their mana development, just wants to get in on the action as far as mana goes. So now, I'm sorry, cards. As far as if you play a non-creature spell, it better be a real good one, because the entire table's drawing. As here looks to be, I think that is an
Avacyn's Pilgrim.
Might be an Avacyn's Pilgrim. Yeah, Avacyn's
Pilgrim. Get good. Leave the green cards to me.
I'll leave the green cards to you.
There you go. Well done.
Yeah. Well, either way, that is kind of what we were talking about. Here's more mana development in the form of creatures that does not feed these Mystic Remoras or Esper Sentinels, what have you. The Forbidden Orchard that Funny played might come into play here as well, as with as many creatures as are available in this pod, combat may become relevant. Ian looking like he has some instep effects. Fairy Mastermind enters play. That's a pretty good one in the face of all these draw engines.
Yep, agreed. Not too sure how long these draw engines going to be on board. Do you pay for the fishy? I think you can see the writing on the wall. These fish is not going to feed.
The problem is, I think you have to worry about ping if you're an ENC, right? You get in on the action with the card drawing engines with your Fairy Masterminds. You do kind of have an engine of your own going, but based on the context of Ian's hand, if he already has a plan to stop ping from getting really anything done, you might as well pay for it, right? Because what's the rush? Like if you have it covered, I think that you can let it go, or that you can keep it. Otherwise, I think you might have to let it go and either start executing your own plan or find some answers. Because Ping, I think right now with the development of the board, looks to be kind of the most ahead. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but
no, I agree. I think if Ping hits a land drop here, we have the nut. Okay.
Well, how about Basalt Monolith? Wasting no time getting that one on the stack end. If that one resolves,
we just have a mana floating, right? Because Bloom Tender makes 4 green, blue, white.
And then you go to draw.
Because I don't know. Does it
copy the color?
Yeah, that's the question.
Metamorph.
I have absolutely nothing on this.
Take a look. I might be up on screen if Cal is able to get it on screen for y'all. As a copy, except it's an artifact. Yeah, it looks like it should be white. So there should be.
I believe the question was asked and no response. Basalt resolve, we're tapping mana. It should be floating.
Okay, Basalt is resolved. So that makes 3 to untap. You can respond to the untap by trying to blow it up. And I think that might be where we're at right now, as we see one mana floating. Likely an activation on the stick.
So it matters. Oh, no. Activation, infinite mana is made.
Mirage Mirror. Is that just it?
We're here to send, good sir. In the face of 2 Remoras. GG.
Yeah, that's just it. That's gonna do it. Kinnan, infinite mana. And, these players very familiar with what they have to offer. Just gonna go through and show the win condition as we're activating Kinnan over and over again.
Oh, we're not sure
the combo, and everybody's done. And it looks like Ian is revealing a Beseiju from hand. He had it covered, but didn't have it up.
My goodness, send it,
wow.
Mr. Ping.
Send it. Send it indeed. Ping with, I believe, what is that, a turn 3 kill, thanks to the help of Gemstone Caverns. And this is exactly kind of what we saw happening with the development of those draw engines. Ping, not really disrupted at all. And that's the power of Kinnan. Any of these decks that can combo using just creatures, minimal spells underneath these draw engines, they have shown so much more stock. As people have started more and more picking up blue, picking up the Esper Sentinels, picking up the Remoras, these decks that are winning with just creatures, we've seen it time and time again here in the Mox Masters series. We're seeing it here again now, and Ping rewarded with a turn 3 kill and on to the finals for Ping. So with that, we will see if we can hop into another pod. Maybe we can get in on Ping's brothers action. I don't know if they're actually brothers. I don't know if it's just a bit or not, but I assume
Oh
they
no,
are.
I believe they are also.
They are. And Memo, somebody we've seen quite a bit, I believe number 8 on our leaderboard, qualified for the Invitational already, is in top 16 as well, piloting Najila. We talked a little bit before the tournament about some of just like the small land interactions and stuff like that. And into the pod we go. See if we can get these players all flip the right direction here. But yeah, we got, can't tell whose turn it is. We got Timna Tana first seed, second seed Shalai and Halar. Not something I've ever seen before. A lot of spice stuff here. Memo, of course, with Najila, as I just mentioned, and Oko it playing. Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Bjorna?
Oh, back my day. Is this a whole
Not
time?
a pattern of rebirth. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be the quickest semifinals we've ever seen as we hop right into the action. And it looks like a pattern rebirth onto Viscera Seer.
Oh my goodness. It resolves.
The only thing in play to stop anything from happening, that doesn't stop the Hulk combo from working.
Let's go. Let's go.
And pattern of rebirth is gonna happen. Wait, but we need a sack outlet, right? That sack outlet needed to stay, right?
Yeah, we can get it needed to stay because it depends on what kind of Hulk.
Maybe we jump the gun here. There is the Hulk right there. Now what?
No mana. I think so. Normally the go-to is just Slaughter Pact. If you just have it in hand and you kill your own Hulk and off to the races you go. But maybe not.
I have a Slaughter Pact.
It is Slaughter Pact. Called. Absolutely called. Disgusting. Now that triggers the Escort that hasn't been triggered before, but this is a spell people can counter. So we'll see. Now is a good interaction point for the table. We'll see if the table does have anything at all to stop this. I have to imagine they maybe would have stopped this earlier in the chain, but players looks like they're doing a lot of waving hands. This might just work. And this Slaughter Pact coming up clutch.
Yeah, because if there was interaction, right, you kill the dork, the seer with the pattern on the sack, so they have no removal. Yeah,
right. And so now the Slaughter Pact's just going to happen, and now we're just about rolled up. So explain to me, since we have the time, what the non-blue combo in Hulk looks like.
Oh wow, that is where we might doing multiple Hulk lines. Haven't been too sure on it, but the sleeper, what is it? A sleeper agent? I could be wrong.
Like activated sleeper.
Activated sleeper. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you use to buy back the Hulk. You get a pinger, normally disciple of the vault. Depends on what pile they're running. And then you could do body launderer lines. There's multiple lines you can take. Depends on what cards you have inside. But the normal thing is a sack outlet, disciple of the vault, pinger, and a lesser master core that persists, comes back, sacrifice.
Okay, so it's like a sacrifice combo.
Yeah, and he does ping the table to that side to side. But depends
so is there
on
any
what
way
line.
to disrupt it now that the Hulk has been activated? Like, can the players have anything at all? Assuming they haven't had something yet. Well, there's Grand Abolishers, so that shuts the door on most of everything. But I guess
normally you can maybe interact with it after the Slaughter Pact Hulk trigger if you have a Noxious Revival to put the Hulk back in the library because you need to activate the sleeper to do the double Hulk line. But with this, normally, no, it's pretty much.
Yeah, with Lucy, the activated sleeper did, create a copy of the Hulk there, and that's going to grab Karmic Guide, which can, of course, bring the Hulk back again. You get a little bit more for your time with that. Gonna bring back the activated sleeper, sure, fine as well. And
creature died, so make Hulk
again.
So I guess
Carrying feeder
we do Revel Arc lines. I haven't seen a Karmic Guide in a while.
Karmic Guide's sweet.
Felidar will flicker.
Felidar Guardian. That flickers the Karmic Guide, which will bring back a Hulk again.
Activated sleeper back.
We could be grabbing other creatures in this process too. I'm interested to see why we're only grabbing one.
One, yeah. Well,
you just grab other stuff. I guess you just don't need to. Why? I mean, this is a Grand Abolisher. What are they going to have? Kiki Jiki. Kiki Jiki Felidar is a combo. So now we have infinite Felidars because you can activate Kiki Jiki, target Felidar Guardian flicker, or makes a copy. The copy targets the Kiki Jiki, which flickers it. It has haste. You keep doing that. Combo, attack everybody for lethal. So let's see.
That seems like the line we're going with.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything. It has to be like Odawara, and even that, no players have any mana. So with that, that looks like this pod's going to end too. Ashani, what is going on? What is going on?
Listen, seems like they listen to the
I thought
recent.
cedh was grindy. Everybody played Thrasios and just activated them for 100,000 turns, and everybody has interaction, and nobody. This doesn't end on turn 2. I see one land in play for like 3 of the players. This looks like a turn 2 win on the play. What's going on, Shawnee?
Look, I guess some people have been listening to the new Miscast episode. I don't know. I guess they're here to jam and not interact anymore.
Nobody wants to interact anymore. That's a thing of the past. Now we jam and we win, and it seems to be working so far for the second player in the finals here. TP Dragons going to see another non-blue deck show up here in our finals. Now let's take a look. We just keep going down the line. Let's watch every pod. Maybe we'll be able to get every single pod going. If we can, we will get an update for you there. Okay, it looks like we may be able to get another backup match, but it may take just a second here. But yeah, as we talked about just a second ago, even earlier this year, we saw a pod full of blue decks, and even there too, right?
Yeah.
Pod full of blue decks. Interaction theoretically should be abound. You know, all of them usually have their force wheels, force negations, 9-brick traps, all that stuff available. And we see players just whatever. If you have it, you have it, and doing what we call in Legacy the force check, just jamming it, hoping for the best, and it's working out. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's not something that's always been true for all of my time playing cedh. Like I've tried just like playing the Godos, the decks that just try to put away my stack as quick as possible, and it's pretty common that I get stopped. What's changed?
I mean, not too sure what changed. Honestly, I thought it was. I guess a lot of people are just realizing when you multi-interaction, you just normally just the hand is normally just garbage, and you want to draw it out of it with the draw engine. And people are just saying they see what the blue decks are doing, and either if you don't have your commander online early, you miss out on a lot of fierce guardianship, deflected swap free interaction. So you needed, as you said, force check, force of will, force of negation, man-bait trap. Do you have it? No, then GG. That's kind of pretty much what the question is being asked, and people are not answering pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, from what we've seen, people just had nothing. They've established these draw engines, and people are attempting wins in the face of them before they've had time to draw stuff. And guess what? Dead.
Yeah.
We're 10, 20 minutes into the top 16.
Yeah.
2 of our pods already over. And no shortage of blue decks. You can't even be like, oh, there's no blue, there's no interaction. There's a ton. And
there's blue decks with draw engine on board, and they're just dying.
Dead. Just dead. All right. All right, looks like we're heading down to a game, and this game, from what it sounds like, is gonna be a little scrappy, Ashani. It sounds like this entire pod, now I don't know what the exact numbers and what have you is, but it sounds like the entire pod has mulliganed extremely low. Now, it's well known, cedh, you do some aggressive mulliganing, right? Like your standards for what a hand can look like and be keepable are really, really high. Some of the longest, time taken as far as cedh games goes is the resolving mulligan section. And I think we're looking at the action now, and a Mystic Remora was just sacrificed on turn 2 here by Tainted, Anala player in first C.
Did Shauna Phantom Legion keep a no-lander? Oh, what? What is happening?
Has a Power Stone and no lands. Gush and Twister in the bin. I don't know if those were discarded to hand size or what.
Yeah.
Shauna not taking a lot of game action, someone that we've seen be very successful with her take on Niv Mizzet Perun, not looking so effective here. And Derek Owens looks to be the player really only able to play Magic. All this stuff going on.
So what are we saying? I see a Voltaic key. I don't know what's that card on the end there.
I believe that is Thran Spider. And that is the reason that Shauna has a Power Stone, as it gives a Power Stone to both you and your opponent. As you see the Power Stone token in play there.
Nice.
And very good in its limited format. Very, very strong.
Okay.
It's like a 3-mana 2/4 with reach or whatever. Just you can play it in any deck, and like a lot of Power Stones. Making Power Stones was good. It was good in its limited format. It has like an activated ability too. I'd have to pull it up. But card's like fine. Kadoltha Forge Master, on the other hand, is way more than fine. That card has quite a long history in Magic the Gathering, and appears to be just deployed freshly for Derek Owens. So, Ashani, you are the master of decks that I consider to be not very good.
Listen,
What
this one is
are we
out of
searching
my.
up with this Cold Oath Forge
I have no,
Master?
sir. This is out of my realm.
This is not what you got.
No, this is not what I have. I have seen this deck. I've played against it a few times, and I'm here like, I don't want to play against it. I see it. I'm just like, excuse me from the table. I'll find another pod. That's how I'm at with the Liberator deck. But it's doing things. They're in the top 16, and I have no idea about colorless spells. We have to find a deck list and read cards from what is happening, because they have
Zen activating a Tiam here? Is that what's going on?
okay.
I saw a rule of law, but kind of fuzzy on the rest. Jeweled Lotus in the graveyard, likely how time was powered out. All right, can you do me this, Ashani? Do you know all 4 of the lands Derek has in play?
Other than Crystal Vein, no. That's about
All right,
it.
I think I got it. I think the one under
Right, let's
Crystal
go,
Vein's
let's go.
War Room. I think the one under War Room is a Strip Mine. And then to the left is Mirrodin's Core?
Shoot. Gives this man a medal.
Let's go. Let's go. No, I built a colorless cube at one point in time, so I know some of this stuff. It's not Mirrodin's Core. It's Phyrexian's Core. No!
Oh,
Whatever.
you're close.
It mirrors the Mirrodin's Core artwork. I'm like, what do I know? Looks like, all right, we're resolving the Tiam activation. It looks like
what is that?
I have no idea what that is. It interesting.
Is
Looks
that
like a creature of some kind.
a money changer? What is that? That is green?
It is green.
Oh my goodness.
But it looks like maybe like a non-standard art. Like there's a lot of like full art stuff and stuff that doesn't normally come in full art going on with these proxies. So don't super know what's going on. It's a creature. It enters with a counter. I believe that is a vigilance counter.
Vigilance counter, yeah.
And of course, Ashani, you're well known for your love for the Tiam deck as well.
Absolutely.
So,
great enjoyer of the Absent Toolbox deck that cards have no tax. But other than that, great believer. Great Brewer's advantage here. I don't know what's going on.
A lot of Brewer's advantage going on between the Liberator deck and the Tiam deck, as the other 2 players mostly don't really seem to be in the game at all, as kind of the fish that Tainted had available is now in the graveyard.
Yeah, it seems like the fish stayed around. It, I assume, got fed and just didn't hit land drops. I guess mauled pretty low.
Didn't look like it fed too much. Only 3 cards in hand for Tainted there right now. So I mean, if you look at the total sum of the cardboard that is on Tainted's mat, it's 8 cards. So that's not too many. As we are having some kind of conversation. I think that was an in-step Tiam activation. And we're talking about going to the untapped step.
Doesn't the read? Okay. I thought shouldn't we be tutoring with okay. I guess I don't know what code those
No, it doesn't have haste. You have to tap it.
Tap it. There we go.
Needs to wait a turn cycle to activate that one.
Okay, so
I play that one a lot in Vintage Cube. I actually really like Cloth Forge Master. Card's kind of sweet. Blocks so well. As a green mana made from Wall of Roots, ready to get that going right away. Finally in Zen's turn. We'll see what else we can get started. Tiam, like I said, that kind of card advantage mode of this card looking pretty strong here in the low mulligan pods like this, where you have time to activate it and set up. We'll see if it's going to be enough to power through whatever Derek Owens could potentially find with Cold Oath of Forge Master. But
the thing is that I always believe Tiam is a deck. If you don't keep it in check, if you give it a space to do its thing, it'll just run away with the game. It just starts snowballing.
Derek Owens taking time to write an Affinity token. Hello, Derek. How are you? Look like you're doing just fine in this pod. We'll see if you can join your other non-blue friend we just saw win on turn 2 in the finals pod here in a moment. A little bit of work left to do before then. And honestly, as far as winning the game goes, you can't really count someone like Shauna out. Because if you have to be asking yourself, if she didn't keep lands, what did she keep? And maybe the answer is interaction. As Tyvar Jubilant Brawler on the stack, that's going to allow kind of abilities to be activated as though they had haste, which is really strong with Tiam. And if my understanding is correct, I believe this helps with some kind of combo lines that Tiam has available. We'll see if we can get that going.
Devoted druid lines.
Devoted druid.
I currently have
Making the dorks, go away the turn. I don't know what else it helped with. Also buys back additional piece from the graveyard.
Yeah, just like the
Pretty
mill
good
buyback
card.
thing, which is like what
Yeah.
Tyan's already doing in the first place. Maybe getting a little bit more of a buyback on rate, especially when there's nothing to pressure it. Nothing's attacking here. Gaia's Cradle is a great land for turn to play in this kind of a setup.
So that gives me.
It seems like we can get another activation. I don't know what's really in the graveyard right now.
66 cards.
Yeah, I can't really get a great look. Like I said, all I saw was like a Jeweled Lotus, and I think there's a copy of Rule of Law as well that we could have gotten. Chose to get a creature instead.
I will tap the Gaia's Cradle for one.
Cradle. That one's gonna make 3.
Does that even make any sense? No, it does not. I will tab the Savannah.
All right.
And I will play
Follow up
a
is
Sylvan
going to
Safekeeper.
be Sylvan Safekeeper.
Yeah,
So
so
we're
we're
doing
gonna
that
go-
beforehand so we can make 4 green, it looks like. Looks like
Yeah.
we a little control Z that Gaia's Cradle. Used Savannah there to make a Sylvan Safekeeper. That's going to, well, keep the creatures safe.
Yeah, I think that also gives you another vigilance counter, which may.
True.
Okay, so it resolves, protects your creature. So is there a combo happening here? Maybe.
I get another.
I mean,
like-
if there is, it's protected by the Safekeeper, but I don't
Right.
see anything face up yet. I mean, obviously, I think we can do another activation of Tayum. Get an exact look at Tayum. I haven't read that card in a while. And see how much it costs to activate. Looks like it costs 3.
Again, like I'm not bluffing here. I'm literally trying to find an answer for the.
So it sounds like there's a
This is not a bluff.
chance
Ah.
to make infinite mana because we can remove counters from among creatures. So we can remove the one from Wall of
More
Roots.
activations means we lose eventually.
So
Uh,
what?
I mean,
Sack the cradle, buy back the
we are
cradle.
on the same team.
Yeah.
I also cannot
Sack
win
Cradle,
activations
reanimate
next
Cradle,
turn
but we
if
need to
there's
get
any
rid of the
activations.
counters
So,
every
yeah, that's why
time.
activating
So
is
we need to find a way.
Uh,
I think we need
I
another
will tap
counter maker,
Gaia's
right?
Cradle,
Because
I
we
will
got
tap
Wall of Roots with a ton of counters.
Yeah.
We got. Let's just look. Let's just watch. So we got 4 mana,
So I can generate.
and it costs 3 to activate.
I can mill.
And it's going to end up making more mana than that eventually. We got Tyvar to also make any of the mana creatures we have go right away. I think
Go
we can
right
get
away,
something
yeah.
started. I don't know if we have
or-
anything deterministic, but it looks like we have something. And Safekeeper is going to make it to where it's going to be hard to disrupt this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will use 2 of this mana, floating 2 green,
Feels like the players are
and
talking
I'm going to
it.
cast a Devoted Druid.
Oh,
Oh,
Devoted
they just had
Druid?
the velvet. They had the
I
druid
do
in
not
hand.
play.
That
whatever
seems
this
like it
configuration,
locks
does not
it
work with
up.
time.
So devoted
Yeah,
druid. If you,
I think we're there now. I think every time we hit a creature, no, because we get the
No.
cradle back, not a creature.
yeah, I
like,
think
I am
it's what the
trying to
other
maximize
piece
as
would
many
be
activations as
Centaur
I can.
Guardian or
But we have
the
we have a
land.
Tyvar activation too, right? So we can just like mill most of our deck and then get somewhere.
Very unlikely.
The
So the
most three
devoted druid
counters.
gives
Like, I
us
think I
the
still
devoted druid gives us 2 counters.
Basically, like
Or yeah, 2 before it dies.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
correct,
it can be
but
done
I
at
do
instant
not
speed, and
play
we can maybe
infinite,
find like a swift
I
reconfig
don't
after
play
a
swift
time, get
reconfiguration. I
that
play
back,
1 card.
infinite mana, and then you have
Work
counters
when
out the
you came
wazoo.
into
You're
it.
good. Check mark.
Yeah, but
Seem like we're talking through it.
the problem is you played a combo piece. So if you mill with Tyvar,
Yeah,
Combo.
I think the whole
Tyvar
table's
cannot-
kind of doing the
cannot-
same thing.
Tyvar
We
can only bring back
don't want to get
creatures
too
with
loud
2
about it.
mana value
Yes,
or
if he
less.
hits another combo piece, they have haste and they can go.
We're
off.
we're doing a lot of
Okay.
we're doing porting
If-
Tyvar.
What? Then then he can't go off, and you'd have to cast it again.
No,
if you just have enough mana.
it's okay. So first of all, just to clarify, the reason why I'm doing this is because it maximizes my activation. Second of all, if I mill a undying creature, I would need a sacrifice outlet, an undying creature, and a Rishkar, a Cryptolith, right, or an Earthcraft.
There's
Those
no
are all
Yeah, so
4
it looks
piece
like my
combos.
initial
I do
analysis
not
was
have 4 pieces in
correct.
combo.
We have
Like, you're
like
presenting
a
opponents
lot of
with
activations that we
it's
can
what I'm
go
trying to
through
do.
if we want to try it now. I think we can do it all instant speed because time's instant speed, everything doing all of its things, except
Right.
Tyvar's activation, because Tyvar has still not been activated for this turn yet. So if you want to use Tyvar, you need to go now. Otherwise, you can maybe do like the only go if I have to kind of thing. And otherwise, maybe I get an untap and who knows what that's
Whatever you
worth.
can do to interrupt
But
this board
from
state,
what the
because
players are discussing
I'm
and
looking
the
at board
conversation
states and I'm
happening,
looking
it
at cards
seems
again.
like
They're
there's a
both
lot of
precedent.
activations,
It's the
nothing
same thing,
deterministic
right? In
quite
terms of
yet.
board states,
Yeah,
they're
I don't
linear.
think I
So
would
you're gonna do
want
is,
to
I
pass
require
unless you
4
try
7 pieces
to.
to win.
Depends on how
Either
important,
way-
as you said, the
either way,
Tyvar
have-
activation
he
is.
has a tutor
But I
for
definitely
pieces to
wouldn't
win.
want
personal, but
Derek to be
it
on
can just be
tapping.
like, oops,
I feel like that he
Yeah,
could figure a
it's
way
true,
to
he
answer
can.
your board.
It's okay if I activate time and I mill my 4 pieces in the next 2 activations,
Yeah,
all 4 of them are
and like
together and they go
Sylvan
to my graveyard,
Safekeeper
I
makes
will
it
win.
pretty
He
safe
has
to
a
wait.
tutor
Like
for
you don't
any
really
card that he
need
wants.
all of your
And
lands.
if I,
You have
for
2
whatever
mana
reason,
floating, so if you
somehow
want to
manage
use
find
that,
a
maybe
win,
that's worth
he
something
can
to you as well. So
tutor
like maybe
Grab
going like
Cascade
once
instead of his
is
own
fine.
card.
Just like tap
He can
Devoted
tutor
Druid or
from either
whatever,
Moonstone.
activate time once,
I
see where
cannot
that
win.
goes. Just use your
Right.
floating mana. And that's, I have to imagine that's where we're going to land. Is I can't imagine doing no activations. Like I have to imagine that time's going to do an activation, but we might still be talking with Devoted Druid on the stack. This
It seems
conversation,
so.
No.
like yeah, I
But I
have to
think
imagine Zen
even-
has a
Is this
plan.
Is this interaction?
But even if they interact, sure, he could buy back the Devoted Druid. It might make him a little tighter on mana if they're trying to interact.
At least
But like
you can at
interacting
least
with any of the creatures that's already on board is already too late.
Oh yeah, if you can kill
So I'm not too sure like what the talk piece is, because if you interact with the Devoted Druid, he just buys it back with an activation.
Druid and his Wall of Roots are combo pieces. They make him go
Right.
Maybe I'm incorrect. Can we if depends on if we activate the Wall of Roots yet.
Sorry,
Because we can currently only have 2 green left in pool.
Yeah, this is kind of like my reservations every time I'm watching time or like whatever. Like it looks like it should have a kill here somewhere, and I don't think it does, but it's also just not clear that we couldn't find one. As a lightning bolt is going to be cast from Tainted.
Would you look at that?
That's going to
what,
target Tyvar,
though?
the only thing that you can target, and that's going to go to the graveyard. Tyan
Okay,
could
so-
buy that back if he wants. That might not actually do anything. I think
If he was gonna lightning
So
bolt,
that
he
cuts off the 2 green mana against. Unless Wall of Roots is not active, then it might
I think
matter.
Wall of Roots has been used for this turn. So
Okay,
we
then
might
I
be
guess it might
short
matter.
mana. Right, because the Devoted Druid would just enter play and then there's no targets and you have to wait a turn.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. That tap to untap a land. Don't know what that creature is, but it seems powerful. That just tap to untap the cradle. We add in 4, go up to 6. Activate, go back down to
It's just basically forcing me
3.
to shit on stuff that's not trying to find a collector roof. 7 green mana. I will.
Oh, 7. Okay, clearly I miscounted.
Devoted Druid to untap it, and in response to the untap trigger of the Devoted Druid. So I don't know what will represent the untap. The stop their token will represent.
So now we have 7 green in
All right. It
blue.
sounds like this game needs to stop. I believe I was just told that there's going to be a judge call. So we're going to step away from this game and get confirmation if the other game is still going, as these players are still kind of looks like talking through things and trying to understand what's going on. But the judges seem like they're going to be interrupting this game. So we are going to pull back out of it. And whatever the result is, I mean, it looks like the Zen is extremely ahead. It looks like, you know, we probably have a kill somewhere. There's a lot of politics still going, a lot of conversation to be had. Maybe some players have something. The lightning bolt might have been enough. We'll get confirmation for you in just a moment. But as judge calls can slow things down, and we haven't had a chance to look at our 4th pod. We've looked at every other pod in the top 16. Let's go ahead and jump in. Let's take a look real quick at what is going on here. And this board is on the complete opposite side of the spectrum from what we're just looking at. There is stuff everywhere. Thankfully, Thras Oracle has labeled this phantasmal image as it is both a relevant permanent and something we would like to know. Is that Weathered Wayfarer?
That
that
is.
appears to be fetched here by a Ranger Captain of EOS, a huge add to this board, I assume, but I have not had a chance to figure out what's going on. And this, if I'm correct, that's going to be the second copy of Weathered Wayfarer on screen right now, as there's a tapped
that
one
is
for
correct.
Burden and another Time deck in both first and second seat here. So there's just Time everywhere. There's just Time all over the place.
Listen, we clearly need to learn the deck because it's doing
What is
things.
going on? Ashani, are we just missing something?
We're
There's just
sleeping
Time
on
everywhere.
the new. We're sleeping on something. We need to figure out how this deck works.
I still haven't figured out. We're sitting there trying to figure everything out, and maybe that's the power of the deck, right? Like us in the booth the whole time. We're just like, are they winning? Are they not? I don't know. And that's probably exactly where the Time player's like, I know exactly what's going on. I can sit here and be like, not yet, and then you just kill them. You know, whatever. You're done. But here we have Weathered Wayfarer entering the mix alongside Carrion Feeder, Skyclave Apparition, Wall of Roots, and something on the very far left, maybe a Soul Ring. I can't get a great look at what that is.
Is that also just double Janus?
Yeah, there's a Draneth in play for Blonde Beast. There's a Draneth in play for Thras Oracle, and a Draneth in play for Burden as well. So there are 3 Draneths in play.
So this is a game where there's no times on the
No
battlefield.
times. We're
just
doing
playing
this the hard way.
good creature value.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we might just be in combat mode, as it looks like Blonde Beast spent their entire turn. Gavin Township on their board, worth noting, spent their entire turn just developing creatures, and we go back to Burden, who has an Urza's Saga in play. We'll see if we're interested in making any kind of tokens with that.
I mean, it seems like we should be on a go wide strategy here, and just try to just beat down the other players. Team the Thrasios and Team the Crom. Okay.
Mana floating. Let's go searching. Nothing that stops that.
I think I'll find the expedition map.
Going to find an expedition map.
You say
Uh,
Pat?
Okay.
No,
I mean,
I'll
we
use the
already
map.
could fetch a land, I
Map on the
guess.
field.
Yeah.
I'll use
Are we
and I
making
will-
our construct bigger? No, we didn't make a construct. Okay. So now we're activating.
Shit about it.
Activate
Weathered
Wayfarer.
This should just get a cradle. I assume the Bloom Tender and whatever else that creature is. Is it an Outland Liberator? I don't know what that card is. Below the Bloom Tender.
Thumb Outland Liberator. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe chat's got it. No idea what that is. Maybe we can find a copy of the Tayam deck to take a look at, but let's see. See if I can find it. I'm gonna go searching. I'm gonna go down as Command Beacon is added to hand, or yeah, to hand, right? With Weathered Wayfarer.
Oh, that's cool. So that's how we play through the Draneth. All right.
Yeah, okay. So now, yeah, that gets through the Draneth.
There's a Saga, Circle, Grim Druid. Not much.
Scurried Oak is the card.
If we had one, we could do it. Just do.
When you put a counter on it, it makes squirrels and has evolve. The other card, of course, because I know you don't know that one, Ashani, but it's okay, I got you covered, is Ixion Money Changer, which enters battlefield with 3 counters. He has 5 right now. So enters battlefield, it deals 3 damage to you. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get to put a credit counter on it. You can sacrifice it, gain a life for each credit counter on it. Activate only during your upkeep. So yeah, that's a 1-mana O2 that enters with credit counters on it. So we are earning credit every single turn.
It just makes more comments. That's awesome.
Right. Okay. So we have Command Beacon in hand. We have Expedition Map in play.
No, I think we could. No, we sat the Command Beacon.
We sacked the Command Beacon. So now we have Tayam in hand.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that would break through this kind of board stall we're looking at. Of course, Ringwraith there in 4th seed. We're talking about a lot of what's going on these Tayam boards. How's a Timna going? Already has one of the commanders going. Not great attacks right now. I think that's part of why you see all these players hunkered down with creatures so much right now. But kind of the only person in play with a commander at all right now, that looking to change now that Burden has access to Tayam. We'll see if Ringwraith has anything to say about it. And silence in response to the Command Beacon activation, I assume, is going to stop that Tayam for a full turn.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Keeps. I mean, well, I guess we need to figure out how to get out of this lock, but maybe it's maybe we just need a turn to figure it out.
Yeah, I have to imagine turns were usually is worth something a lot in cedh. Underneath all of these Dranists, I'm less sure exactly how much that's worth, but if you're a Timna player, usually it's worth quite a bit. You know, you're going to see a lot
Yeah.
more cards on your turn thanks to Timna. If you can find a way to get these creatures through something, you know, like Fire Covenant or what have you, in order to punch 3 through would be a huge deal. And stopping time right now could be a big deal for that. But either way, I mean, it could just be a tempo play just because you need to find something, which I think would also be totally fine if you're in the 4th seat here.
Yeah, because definitely the Tyvar is already in hand. So like we did the hard thing. Like the only, like I guess the best thing that could happen maybe is a wheel to make sure the Tyvar, the time doesn't get in play. Well, we'll
Sure,
see.
yeah,
A lot
will
of
be
magic.
something. Like, there's a lot of things, right? Like sweepers
Yeah.
to attack, and that way it mitigates a lot of the impact that time would have the turn it comes down. All these kind of stuff could happen as we look to be heading back to Thras Oracle's turn. The Timna Thrasios, a deck we've seen kind of a little bit less of. No shortage of Thrasioses and Timnas, not so much together anymore.
Yeah,
Maybe a
that's true.
comeback here?
Hey, I believe Atrax is the way to go. Atrax is the new Timna Thrasios, but maybe we're
Is that what you
holding on
believe?
for.
You believe
That's
Atrax
what
is the new
that's
Timna
what I
Thrasios?
believe. That's what I believe. But I've been proven wrong.
I mean, there's one in
we've,
our top 16, just like there's one of the Thrasios Timna. Maybe we'll see
True.
exactly how that plays out. Did not make it to the finals, unfortunately.
All right, gonna draft turn.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a calling a ritual here.
Yeah,
Big-
Calling Ritual would
big-
be really strong.
I
It would
mean,
unlock a
don't
lot of the
Don't beat the
commanders
rank.
thanks to the Dranis going away.
yeah, don't be the Ranger captain, sadly, but it's a good way to maybe get back in this game. Seems
All
like
right, it looks like Thras Oracle deep in the tank on how to navigate this turn. Not really able to activate the, the Thrasios despite having all this mana, thanks to Dranis stopping it from even entering play. Timna kind of in the same boat. We'll see exactly what we can do with all of this mana we have amassed. Reaching for mana now is Thras Oracle. See what we've assembled. That's 3 mana. Is there going to be a 4th? Okay, we'll ride that back. We have to see exactly how we're looking to tap for this.
We're
Look, this is the
teasing me.
struggle
We're
of CDH.
teasing me.
There's so many duels. You're playing 4-color. The 4-color mana bases suck. So trying to figure out exactly how to tap for things is very difficult. 4 mana. Is it Culling Ritual?
Oh, show me.
Finale. Okay, so
Boo.
you're only 1 for 2 here on called shots. Finale X equals 2 for Thras Oracle here. Keep in mind that cannot grab Dockside Extortionist. So what are we grabbing?
What? Are we just? We didn't leave black up, so we can't Oracle Consult here, which would have been super cool.
Well, oh no, we have an Elves of Deep Shadow. That's black.
Oh, so maybe we're just going for the win here.
Yeah,
Maybe. Let's see.
I mean,
Thras
Oracle was very, very particular with the mana they left open. So I have to imagine that there is some kind of follow-up happening here. As we go a searching. Did not look in the graveyard. There's only fetch lands available there. Dothy a potential hit. Good against
I
Tyam.
don't know about you guys.
Can't cast anything grab off it, but does stop Tyams from doing things, and there are 2 of them in the pod. A lot of good options here.
I like winning. What about you? Fan of winning?
I'm a big winning fan. Are you making a statement then that Thras Oracle is maybe less of a fan of winning than we are, Ashani?
Seems like
With
we're
this Dothy
hunkering down.
Boardwalker grab.
Dothy time.
Maybe a little bit of
We're here for the long game. We're here to grind, and
I'm here for a good game. We're here for a long game.
I'm not sure if I want to grind with 2 Tyam decks. I'll be honest.
Hey, I don't mind grinding with 2 Tyam decks if I have a Dothy in play. Like, okay, put your random counters, bozos in play. I don't care. But, maybe against Gavany Township, that math changes a little bit, as I think both players could have access to one if they so choose. So we go back to Ringwraith. First time we've seen this player take game action since we have hopped into this pod. Damage taken from Mana Vault on upkeep. Draw step. After choosing not to untap it in upkeep. Loyal Apprentice added to the mix. Card I'm an outspoken hater of. Actually looks quite good here.
Listen, if A 1/1 flyer that can draw me cards seems pretty good here in the stall board state.
Yeah, especially when your other attackers are Ragavan, a Dothy, and a clogged board state like this. The
Yes.
flyer is going to be worth quite a bit, especially as we take more turns. And this is kind of where we see that silence play, if you want to go back to that, on that Tayum. Now suddenly looks really good, as you know, Thras Oracle has solved the Tayum problem in the form of Dothy Voidwalker. Ringwraith going to get another turn, get more cards out of the mix. And this is something that we see a lot out of these Timnacron Blue Farm style setups, I think, is players looking to just take more turns and just get to another draw step so they can attack with their Timnas and get more resources. It's all about using silences and stuff like that, not just always to win, but just to get another turn. And it's worth quite a bit here. I think Ringwraith well paid off, as Esper Sentinel going to be out of the mix, and back to Blonde Beast we go. All right, is it time? Are we just activating Gavany Township and swing? I have died in my days, Ashani, to Gavany Township just being activated every turn.
Overturn, yeah.
Let me tell you about this deck called Birthing Pod back in the day.
Oh,
put a bunch of bozos in play. Kitchen Finks, unbeatable. Unbeatable. Handful of lightning helixes, lightning bolts, Kitchen Finks. Beat it. Good luck. What are you gonna do? Bolt it? Okay, it's back. 2 more life coming. All right, there we go. Activate Gavany, clear the counter. You're an idiot. Good games. Both teams played hard. That was the story. That's
nice, lovely. Are we also going to do the command beacon trick here?
Could command beacon could still Gaia's Cradle as well, worth something here. As the Tayum players get to just take notes from each other. Spider-Man meme point at each other. Hey, that was a good play. I'll try that.
You had success with that one. Let me try.
Dude,
I mean, I feel like just going wide seems you're gonna eventually just have the bigger creatures.
True, but everyone's got a board state. So like if you attack all out at somebody, you just get back cracked.
So much easier if
I don't know. It's all Drannith Magistrates. Everything has like 1 power. So maybe it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know how much any of this actually matters.
I mean, I'll take the 3 versus the 6 to 8 damage a turn.
That's the whole thing.
To go win that race eventually.
Wayfarer actually looking really good here. Both these Tayum decks have just like a ton of lands they want to go grab. Cradles and townships and all that, what have you. Did not get a look. What are we doing here? Oh, we're still thinking. Okay.
Yeah, we're still searching for that utility.
No stress. We got time.
Yeah.
We got Tayum.
Win a game with somebody else.
You get it because time sounds like time and command beacon is defined.
So we're also doing the command beacon. So does that say
Wall of Roots? So we can fire it up right now, but there's still a
Dothy. So does that say Blonde has a removal? Blonde Beast?
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, we still have mana to activate this turn, so like you don't need the Cradle to do anything. Like if your plan is activate Gavany, right? You can like Wall of Roots, activate Gavany, that offsets the counter, and then we're like doing stuff, and you at least get the command beacon in play in case the Dothy leaves. Now, if you have a removal, all that's moot. You can just removal and get things going or whatever.
Right.
But even if you're looking to wait a turn, you just activate. Your plan is just activate Gavany this turn. You don't know, necessarily if you're going to untap with your Wayfarer again, so get the most important land first, instead of just getting more mana if you don't have anything to do with it. I don't know. I like the sequence. And there is mana from Wall of Roots made. Green mana in pool adds Elves of Deep Shadow to the mix for Blonde Beast.
We're just playing these green creatures. I like it.
This is your magic. Ashani, this is when I think of Ashani playing Magic the Gathering, this is where my head goes. This is what I see in my dreams as I'm picturing what Ashani's like. Just so happy. Just green creatures just staring at each other. People tutoring up command beacons, just everything you could ever want.
Beautiful magic. Absolutely stunning magic. And we are cracking. I don't even know what the next land is. It has to be Cradle now.
It has to be Cradle. I have to. I mean, who knows? It could be Gavany. Like, it could be like, I'm jealous of your Gavany. Let's do some Gavany stuff.
Oh, no.
It is Gavany Township. Let's go.
It's the mirror match.
Beach Street. Boop, boop.
I know we were doing the meme earlier, but this is my.
Oh, man. This is. Wow.
Beautiful.
This is bringing me
Stunning
back. I
magic.
love it. I love it
Stunning
so much.
Magic.
I'm sorry. I have such a bleeding heart for Gavany Township. I've just gotten smushed by that card so many times. So happy to see it getting the job done here in CDH. As expedition map now underneath Dothy. Remember, not able to crack that Dothy thanks to the plethora, I'd say, of Drannith magistrates. Just one for every player except Ring Wraith. Doing okay for themselves otherwise, though. Ring Wraith got plenty of powerful magic cards in the creature zone. As we go to Burden's turn. Let's see, a little deja vu potentially. Carpet of Flowers, a big deal here as far as mana available for the Time players. Jeweled Lotus is in hand. not in play quite yet. Could add it to play, or not quite yet. There is an Esper to think about before casting that potentially.
Oh, there's math. Gotcha.
I have a lot of
Okay, I think giving up a Jeweled Lotus is okay.
Yeah, I think so too, but who knows where we stand. I'm gonna play the Gavany Township for turn first. Cavern of Souls, not clear what it's naming. My guess would be either human or whatever the commander is, which is a Nightmare Beast. Could be like Beast. Probably human though.
We paid for the Esper.
Paid for Esper, crack Jeweled Lotus. Use the cavern, yeah. So it looks like we are naming whatever, either Nightmare or Beast, and there is Tiam Luminous Enigma. And an enigma this game is.
Do we have the interaction? No, the hardcast Mind Break Trap? Check.
Counter and Squirrel. I don't even remember the name of that card. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oak something. I will find it.
Scurry Oak.
Scurry Oak. Let me get that card up on. I need to familiarize myself as a CDH connoisseur here. Evolve, 2 and a green. Modern Horizons 2.
We have a Nature's Chosen.
Nature's Chosen. All right. What does that one do? I'll bite.
Oh, that's gonna be doing some tapping and untapping. Oh, that's
Untap enchanted creature use only during your turn and only once each turn. Tap enchanted creature to untap artifact creature land. Use only if enchanted creature is white and only once each turn. What a magic card. Gotta get mental misstep. Don't even have to deal with it. You know what? I respect it. I don't know what it does. I don't want to read it. Put it in the graveyard. Get it out of here.
I remember that being like super important.
I'm here for it. I love it so much. Get that out of here. No thank you, says Thras Oracle.
That's true.
So we got squirrels. We got a Scurry Oak. Wait, if we activate Gavany, we get another squirrel. Is this the trigger more than once per turn? Are we doing it? Is that just a combination?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you guys could just be like running this shit.
Yeah, you can do that as many times as you want. So yeah, you can just activate Gavany, get a squirrel. Then the previous squirrel gets a counter. Talk about go wide. Scurry Oak Gavany. That's gonna get the job done. It may take 10 turns. It may be here all night long. That's fine. That's fine. Squirrels and counters. Couldn't want anything more. It's everything I want.
Yeah, I don't want to win games in tournaments because no one knows what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's respectable.
That's understandable.
Demonic Tutor.
Dude, I straight up forgot that you had black in the deck. Yes, that's
Demonic Tutor.
Ian may be saving this table as, you know, Thras Oracle says, I don't know what Nature's Chosen does, but I heard it was good. So get that out of here. Respect. Respect.
I was gonna say, what's in the water?
I have so much respect for it. I'm telling you, I had a friend I was grinding with back in the day. He wouldn't read new Magic cards. He's like typical John Boomer, okay? And so he'd be like, playing John, whatever. He knows all of the modern cards from like 2014. He'd play against something new, and it didn't matter what it was. He would refuse to read it and take it with his Thoughtseize. So he'd be like, all right, Thoughtseize you. I don't know what that does. Take it. And half the time, it was fine. That's whatever. Correct. You know, you took the new Magic cards. Half the time, it's something like a Hogak, where you're like, sure, pal. I guess it still works from the grave, but you know what? Okay, it's my turn. You know, it's okay. John Boomer guy. Don't read new cards, just Thoughtseize them. So we have now cast Demonic Tutor, a big pickup here for Burden. We'll see what that card is. That card is the one still floated there, held in hand. Looks to be the only card in hand. What could it be?
On this board state, I am not sure.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's like a wrath. I mean, we just played all of our creatures, so I can't imagine we're interested in
Oh,
wrath.
definitely no. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, I'm about to.
What
to ask you
is
guys.
the
Is there-
best thing
is
you
there
can
a combo
grab
with
when
the scurry?
nothing works?
Not that I'm probably gonna do.
A
much.
removal,
Okay.
right?
So it has to be
It
so like when a
does.
creature
So
enters,
I
put a
have
counter
one
on something that would
three,
combo with the
four,
Screet
five,
Oak.
I can search for
I just
another
remove
land.
her for Dorothy.
Yeah, it's
Do we
another land.
do we just start doing things if that's the case?
All Wayfarer.
Okay. All right.
What
you
is
guys
it?
ready?
I don't know. We're touching a lot of things. Now we're back
Okay,
in the
we're-
library.
BRB.
We're
Were we waiting for
activating.
demonic tutor to resolve?
Yes, then
We're
I've done
wayfaring.
better for option.
And Thras Oracle has had enough and has left the chair. Is now empty chair in the next seat. Done. Tired of you searching your library for cards I don't understand. I don't have any more counter spells for them. Just do it. Just do it. End me.
God, the hell is this? Blackwell, if I take Forbidden
Oh,
Orchard,
we
Forbidden
got
Orchard.
Forbidden Orchard
No,
is what we're
that can't-
thinking
can't-
about.
It can't
For
be,
what?
right?
Just give creatures to other players. It's like, all right, we're doing this by combat. Who wants to be my teammate?
I feel like I'm giving too much value for you.
Uh-huh. Does not look like we're grabbing that. It's gonna be Beseju. A pretty heads up pickup, I think.
What?
Gonna work against any unsuspecting wins, maybe. Although, really, the only thing that works right now is Thassa's Oracle and Consult. Your Underworld breaches are at least three Draenus away from working, but also a Dothy Voidwalker and also a Ranger Captain. So, you know, there's some
There's
problems.
so many pieces.
There's some problems with the card Underworld Breach in play.
You blow up my pumps, I blow up your pumps.
What
We
is the
don't like those.
Beseju hitting? Is there a? Is that just getting it for a rainy day?
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm not
Yep. Got it.
sure exactly what we're worried about.
2, 3, 1.
Maybe, I mean, it could do something like snipe the other players, like Gavany, if that's where we're at. That's not good.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's not good, but it is something you are technically allowed to do. We'll see. I trust Burden to have a plan. I don't have a plan. This is why I don't play creature decks and just, you know, play Bergie or whatever, Rogsai and just Storm, because I want to look at like 5 permanents and just look at cards in my hand. I don't want to look at all this. This is just dizzying. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't got it.
So we
activate
passed the
Cavity, I
turn.
guess. Go. No further play past the turn from Burden. Over to Thras Oracle we go. Who is just, oh, of course, just what we need. Just what we need. A fourth trainer.
Fantastic.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Now we can start playing Magic.
Can we
We
get
added
another
a
Draenei?
fourth Draenei. You know,
I'm trying to draw.
if first Draenei is so good, what about second Draenei? Where's
What
Ryan?
about the
He'd love
third?
this. This looks like the kind of pod Ryan Street would just have a field day in. As we go back to Ring Wraith, who is not even close to thinking about playing spells that are not in their hand. Don't worry about it. Second Thopter coming. Bam. Here we go.
At the Thopter
Loyal
train.
Apprentice. Really the only card on Ring Wraith's board state with text other than Timna. Here we go. 2 cards coming, 2 life paid. Ring Wraith gets to look at 2 more Magic cards that may or may not work. I'll tell you what, I'm not optimistic. As here is an Imperial Seal. Now that could
that's
find
a
a whole
card.
host of different kinds of sweepers, including potentially a Fire Cup. I don't have access to Ring Wraith's exact deck list right now, but maybe there could be, you know,
Definitely
out
some.
of time.
We're hoping for something. Some
Tie-in
form of
players are
muscle
immediately
movement.
grabbing for politics. Please grab anything but a Wrath. I really think you should grab, I don't know, a creature of some kind. Grab a Ranger Captain. We definitely need a second one of those. Oh, you're searching for Draenith? Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
He has time on the battlefield, and I
Yeah,
don't.
I'm pretty
We
sure.
gotta stop the underworld breach.
Underworld Breach, gotta keep that covered. I mean, that Beseju's not enough.
Absolutely.
Underworld Breach could be coming down at any time from
My goodness, you're being toxic. Drake.
you, I guess.
You're being
the only
toxic.
the only red player at the table.
I'm passionate for this.
Oh, tie-in players. whatever. Maybe have a plan. It might be like a ranger captain next upkeep kind of story for ring rate.
And step, are we activating? Are we
I
putting
think we're
counters?
gonna see a Gavany activation here.
Let's start putting +1 counters, get the die
Maybe?
back.
Nope, it's only 3 mana right now. No, I think we used Wall of Omens. Or sorry, Wall of Omens. Wow.
Wall
I'm
of
really stuck in
Fruits?
2014 modern. Wall of Roots. That
There
one's
we go.
that one played in 2023 modern. Wall of Roots gonna make a green and get offset by the +1/+1 counters. Doesn't lift because they're not -1/-1 counters. So we just get to track a pile of counters on a Wall of Roots, which actually works to Time's favor.
Yes.
So this is a +1/+1
Oh,
counter.
we're-
This is just a minus
we're
one,
doing it.
0, -1, just
Our
because
creatures are getting bigger. We have
Yeah.
time.
I mean, this is where I wanted to be. This is where I wanted to be last turn. I'm excited to be here this turn. Just look at all these +1/+1 counters. Big shout out to Blonde Beast for showing up with this many of the like +1/+1 dice. Mad respect. A lot of players don't show up with counters. It would suck to be like pieces of paper or whatever. Respect for having enough
Clearly.
dice.
Seems like a Tarmogoyf believer back in the seems like a Goyf player.
Yeah. The little Tarmo die back in the day.
Yes,
Remember those
yes.
things? Those things are sweet. And then once it got above like a 7/8 or whatever, it's like, oh no, it's not on the dice. Oh, woe is me. Yeah, okay, thanks. You're bouncing the ball off my face, pal. Can we just simmer down?
Oh.
Moving lands around a lot. A lot of land moving around.
Listen,
And
what
we
other
are
game
taking-
actions are we supposed to take? We gotta
I don't know.
touch
It looks
the
like we're
cards.
thinking about cracking this command beacon. Maybe is it time?
Absolutely.
You got it, Chief.
Yep. There's a time and a hard case. That one's in hand.
Your command beacon does go into
Gonna
the
make
response
some
factor.
mana.
True.
Yeah, I got these.
Oh,
Think
fuck.
about
You can
casting
do
this
that.
guy.
2, 3.
Well, definitely, especially if you believe Birdwood to get removal.
Black.
I think it's pretty free to cast it here.
Let's do it like this. Black, green, colorless, and
Yeah. I don't know. For wrapping, like, oh gosh, Ring Wraith has just undergone an earthquake. But we can just let this happen because I mean, you can only grab stuff that's in there now. You don't get to add anything new thanks to Dothy. Wait, and if you have a Wrath, we get to just Wrath, although there's a ton of mana being tapped for the Wrath Circle. Is this on ad nauseam? No, hard gas force of will. Well, we were asking where the forces are. We have found them. Here's 5 mana canceled. That triggers Esper Sentinel Ring Wraith on it. First non-creature spell in quite some time.
I was just thinking.
That is
And
strong
we
now.
see, yeah, I mean, sure,
Oh, wait, I don't even
sure.
select.
Sure.
That's your command beacon now forever gone. That trick doesn't
Command
work
beacon's
anymore.
gone, time's gone, your stuff doesn't work. There's already a time in play. I'm interested to see exactly why Thrash Circle's so worried. Maybe we're just don't have enough targets.
Well,
I mean, the
we-
first
we
one
don't-
was Cavern, so you couldn't force it. This
Right.
one,
You mean command zone?
like, was this one that scary? I mean,
I mean,
Maybe-
2 times seems
Maybe
problematic. You
it's
can deal
spicy.
with 1, but more than better than you can deal with 2.
yeah, I mean, I guess your Dothy's the only thing between you and just like losing to these times, I guess. So that makes some amount of sense there.
Let's spin Tayam.
Hey, I guess we can't get a circle against Druid.
A little bit of rabble in chat about these +1/+1 counters and perhaps the trying to short the market here. Rule of law. All right, we're activating time. Rule of law. I have no idea what that second card is, and there's going to be one more coming. That is a Green Sun Zenith. I do know that one. They are all in exile, and that can rebuy. Yeah, people are. Looks like the chat is also asking what that is. I assume they got an answer. I will not get an answer. Moon Glove, obviously.
What's a
CDH
moon
staple.
glove? Absolutely. What's a moon
Actually, I don't know
glove?
that one. You know that one? Oh, it's okay,
No.
because I got you covered. I do know that one,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely.
I'm just
type
gonna
on
take
the
a
Google
quick
search.
second to refresh my memory.
We're just straight up dying to beat.
Moon Glove extract.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean me first.
I am fucking going to town.
All right, this is the win condition. It is 3 mana to play, and all you do is sack it and deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So that's how you kill the table.
And then he just bite back and kill the table. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Cool.
It's just a ham sandwich to kill people with.
Absolutely.
Although I don't play Dothy. I don't like the black pips.
So Moon Glove extract, that one's in exile. So
Uh,
I mean, I assume there's another way to kill people, but that one's gone. 3 mana for carpet.
So we bought back what? Bloom Tender with that activation?
Looks correct to me.
Okay.
Gonna use some
Are we
carpet
on
mana to
to-
besiege you something.
I'll take the land.
Esper Sentinel.
Absolutely.
That one's gonna hit
Huh?
the bin. And
It's a-
this disrupts the Imperial Seal.
This is exile.
I believe.
Oh, is Besiege not a man?
I am looking now. That
Let's
player
see if he's a
may.
May.
It is a May. So we will see if Ringwraith is interested in a land or. And I mean,
the
we're
deck
looking
is
at
in
an Underworld
hand,
Bridge at the
right?
bottom of the deck.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, the deck
There
is
it
in
is.
hand. So
Yeah, I mean,
do,
there
are
we go. We're
we
searching.
short on a color that we need? We don't have red. Maybe we don't have red. We have a pedal, and we seem like we have treasures.
Maybe we just didn't need that card that
Did
badly.
he already draw?
Okay. Hey,
I mean,
hey.
I don't know. Oh, a mana's worth a lot, and it does come in
Yeah, with the
untapped.
fucking
So maybe
Esper.
like that untapped mana's worth something, something like an ad nauseum
I
consideration.
just possessed you, the Esper, for nothing. You're welcome.
There's no rule of law
Until
effect,
I
so
tire to
that's
keep
not
up with
bad.
Although they,
Yeah.
I
I'll
guess they
experiment.
could have
I'll
drawn the
activate
card
the
off the
link.
Esper Sentinel. Was that paid for? I think it was, but I
Maybe
don't
that
actually
number.
know.
This
Oh,
will help
I'll get the
us,
Imperial Seal was drawn from the Hardcast Force of Will.
don't fit in.
Yeah, okay.
Was it?
Sure.
So how much mana was spent last turn? So
So basically,
Thras Oracle has 5, 6, 7 tapped mana.
count
They play
there.
Draneth and Force of Will. Yeah, so I think that card
Yeah.
actually might already
Yeah,
be in hand,
yeah,
which
the
would
card
explain,
is already. Yeah,
which would
that
explain
makes
why we
sense.
are dumb. Ringwraith is smart, and that's why they're there. We're
Count
here.
there, which will
And
score real quick.
here we
Oh,
go.
what
I
is-
see counters all over the place. Gavany Township looks like it was activated. Another squirrel does hit the battlefield for Burden, and this is the kind of dice pile I'm excited about. Just completely unparsable. What's a counter and what's another token? Who knows?
What's the counter? What's a visioning counter? What's a +1/+1 counter?
Yeah, where's the credit counters? Make sure those are annotated. Got to keep track of those. I think we might have missed our
Yeah.
trigger. Didn't get our credit counter for turn or whatever.
I doubt that, good sir. These are master time players.
Master time. Who knows? I'm
Masters.
just trying to pick at this card that's just nonsense. Nonsense card.
Yes.
They don't make them like they used to, Ashani. Credit counters, crackling your upkeep, all of this text just to like gain some life or whatever. I'm in.
Listen, are you not a fan of some I don't even know what to say. A very swole scurry? Are you not a fan of a large scurry?
I can get behind a swole scurry. That one's got a little bit more, I don't know, ambitious things going on here. Oh yeah, we're off screen. Love to see it. Just who knows what that is?
My
It's off
brain is
screen.
melting.
It's a squirrel of
Another
some
token.
kind.
Yeah, another token.
Is this Circle of Dreams doing it in play? I've kind of wondered that all. We might have bought that back. Because I'm pretty sure that has not been in play the entire time. That or it's been off screen. Who knows? This is just not clearly the most parsable board state I've ever seen.
Oh, that is a Circle of Dreams druid. Oh, I didn't remember about. Okay. I thought we got a Bloom Tender. Maybe I'm just wrong and I'm not following the board.
Well, there's a Bloom Tender at the bottom there.
Yeah, I will swing.
As Ringwraith gonna go ahead and do a little cut ski poo. As Burden is just moving more permanents around the map. Looks like we might be going to Beach Street.
Yeah,
We're
we're going to the
attacks.
red zone. Absolutely.
All right. Activate Gavany attack. This is what I've been waiting for.
I think
Little attacking action.
we're going for delete target player.
I think Ringwraith has to be the target. Not only is the life stuff going on with Timna, but also they have the smallest blockers. Attacking Blonde Beast does not seem like a plan. Maybe Thras Oracle's the attack just because you want to get this Dothy off the table.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
See that.
Why am I thanking you for hitting me? Never mind.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we went after Thras Oracle.
I'm passing the turn.
Okay. Oh my god.
And back.
We went to 32, so I mean,
All right.
next
Yeah.
turn it gets bigger. I mean, that's a fast clock.
Yeah, I mean, these two players, like one, maybe not that fast. Actually, two players with Gavany Township and a pile of permanents actually is a real clock for these other two players. So the pressure is certainly on Thras Oracle and Ringwraith to get something done. Thras Oracle, no play past the turn after a very quick draw step. We'll see what Ringwraith found with that Imperial Seal. Remember that card was drawn from the Esper Sentinel before Boseiju forced the shuffle. I'm not sure if Burden was aware of that when doing the Boseiju thing in the first place, because otherwise, the Esper Sentinel seemed relatively modest to me, but the
Right.
disrupting the Imperial Seal was attractive. Do not remember if that is something that was kept in mind. Ringwraith, pile of cards to work with thanks to Timna. We'll see how many of them
it
work.
seems natural to just draw 3 here.
The number of games that I've stolen with a dress down has been
Yeah, I mean,
the
drawing
door.
3 is a start. If you're
Yeah.
going to play something like a
Put
Toxic
it in, they
Deluge,
can't crack their
it
Ranger
seems
Captain,
like drawing 3
they're
is the
multiple Ranger
start of
Captains.
things.
Right.
I don't think there's anything that can block flyers at all on this board state.
No, not that I can see.
Oh no. This is when I dabble in blue fire.
I don't think
No,
I
no,
don't see
no,
anything
no.
in graveyard that can come back to block a flyer.
Yeah, I mean, instant speed time stuff is
No, I
a
wish-
consideration
I
at this
wish I
point.
could-
Of course, once again, it does have to already be in the graveyard because any additional milled cards do hit the exile zone underneath the Dothy Voidwalker that Thras Oracle has on the battlefield. And exactly what we just said is coming to fruition. Here is 3 Thopters hitting the red zone. I assume 1 at each player. We'll see exactly how many cards are picked up by Ringwraith here. That to me looks like 3. And 3 cards are in hand. Ringwraith, ton of resources.
So if we go, so the
Spire
problem is
Ministry.
we can't win this turn, right? If we go
I mean, if we
Deluge
wrap it,
Ranger,
who knows what it could be, right? Like, wrap
he just crack
everything.
Ranger. He just crack Ranger. Nothing else happens.
Ooh.
I mean, there has to be a
you can
sequence of
respond like
cards.
Thoracle
Sure.
consult kind of stuff.
Verdict.
Okay, Thassa's
Or-
Oracle, there
or-
it is.
or we
You
can
said
do this.
you were saying about not winning this turn. All
I mean,
right,
sure.
So I still
ETB.
all
We're
right.
gonna see him.
No, hold on.
We are hardcasting for so well. I don't believe we have interaction left.
I mean, who knows? Thras Oracle took a draw step and passed after hardcasting Force. Could be just another hardcast something. Like hardcast Mindbreak Trap wouldn't surprise me.
That's probably a good idea.
We'll see. Only one other blue player at the table. Silences don't get anything done. We did do a lot of talking before about how kind of white is the new blue as far as what we're seeing, not just in this tournament, but across the board
Yeah.
in CDH tournaments, using silences as your primary form of interaction, notably very weak in this exact spot where you lead on Thassa's Oracle. No matter how many silences you respond with, that player can just respond with the Tainted Pact or Consult, and everything still works. So all the silences, not going to get it done here. Going to need to be a hard counter. Now you could combine a silence with something like a counter spell to just put the check mark on a player, right? Where you just force them to like crack it down to 1 or 2 cards, then counter a spell. That does it.
And Taka, can you repeat your
I think maybe I'm not saying this is incorrect, but I definitely maybe would have liked leading with the Tainted Pact here.
Yeah.
Forcing the Ranger Captain crack and just let the Ranger Captain crack happen.
I mean, I think cracking
That
the
would
And
be
then
good.
just jam, and then just jam the Oracle.
I mean,
That
so
seems-
well, there's some tricksy stuff that can happen here, right? Like the
Definitely.
Time players can politic the Dothy to be sacrificed and try to roll into something that matters using Tiems.
But the
would be helpful.
Cool. Then I would like.
Yeah, it sounds like there's conversation about the Ranger Captain sack. Ashani, what's my philosophy?
I mean,
Never,
never happened.
never.
We're
I'm
done
0%
it with
to
it.
crack this ever. But if Thras Oracle does have a counterspell, this crack actually does look pretty good. Because Ringwraith does have to take an action and will, as here is the Tainted Pact. So this represents a win. There's a Ranger Captain activation on the stack above that, the Tainted Pact, and of course, at the very bottom, Thassa's Oracle. Now, if you have a counterspell for Thassa's Oracle, you do want to let this happen, and it is going to happen. Going to grab the last card, which is a Fire Covenant. Okay. That seems like a strangely relevant card to have here as the rest of the deck is in the exile zone. Player's going to take a quick look, try to deduce what the other stuff in hand even is. As cards moving around now, those are going to be in a non-Dothy pile.
Oh, seems like we're picking up our graveyards. Thras Oracle is not here. He was like, we're here. Do the absent players have an answer?
Do the absent players have an answer? Even something like an endurance could be a big deal here. Only 2 blue available as far as the devotion goes.
Well, it's a graveyard column, though. It shouldn't be large, right?
I mean, there's at least a silence and another card underneath it. So if assume there's a 3rd card there, I mean, that's good enough. And you can cast it after the Ranger Captain, so nothing happens.
You're right. So the Tainted Pact Resolve Ranger Captain triggers back on the stack. For the tie-in player, they can let the Ranger Captain resolve and then try to do something over the top.
Right.
Maybe
The
call-
consideration here is, does Thras Oracle have a kind of like stack-based interaction they would want to do, or that they could find or whatever before the resolve? And I just saw a flash of Ringwraith's hand. I saw a Force Negation in
Force
there too.
Negation,
So
yeah.
that's going to be good enough with 3 mana up there to stop
That
any kind
does-
of non-creature
that
interaction, but
does-
does not stop
yeah.
endurance.
Does not stop endurance. So I guess the conversation here, we're asking for a graveyard count. See more than 3.
Ranger
The
resolve.
time deck does traditionally play endurance, so there could be up to 2 endurances in the mix here. And there's an endurance from Thras Oracle. Okay. All right. Ranger resolved. We cast endurance. That looks like it's going to happen. 3 cards in the library, 1 devotion short from a victory. Is Ring Wraith right now?
Can we figure something out? Can we maybe
Any
get
way to
1
exile a
card?
card? It would need to be like flashing a blue card, and we're getting a great look at the hand here. Soul Ring among the mix. Force of negation. Full bleed is in effect. I see. Is that a brain freeze? If it's brain freeze, that would have worked before. It doesn't work now.
Is
It
it a
might be a force
brain?
of will.
It doesn't matter.
I
I'm
can't get a
dead.
great look. Yeah, it looks like Ring Wraith says, yeah, I don't got anything. And that did not look like the placing of a hand of someone that is going to be able to win the game from this spot. So
That's tough beats.
is going to likely do it. We do need to finish resolving Thassa's Oracle, so we get to look at the top 2, put 1 on top if we choose. Not sure if Ring Wraith's conceding or whatever, what have you, but
You actually have to put one on.
Oh, I actually have to shuffle these in too.
oh yeah, right. It's shuffled. Shuffled. They asked if they want if Ring Wraith wants to concede. Ring Wraith says no. You cannot place both on top. You have to either select 1 or 0 to put on top. The rest go on bottom. So that was, I think, resolved a little incorrectly. Likely does not matter, as you more or less have control over the exact order of those 3 cards for the most part, anyway. But whatever.
Maybe there's a card that matters here. There's maybe a Femage.
We know there's a silence in that pile of cards.
Okay, fair enough.
Not sure among the rest what we're working with, but what I can tell you is now that we had our little bout of excitement, it is back to Gavany Street. I'll tell you what. As we are activating Weathered Wayfarer off of a pretty nice basic. I actually like that planes quite a lot.
I have
No cards in hand, potentially. Maybe 1 for Thras Oracle. Not a lot of cards to work with for the entire table. Except Ring Wraith. Flood of cards. All dressed up, nowhere to go. And
Is there a world? I don't know. Depends on what the cards are left. I don't know what was in his graveyard, but we are. What are we doing?
Doesn't matter. I have no relevant pieces or anything. I'd have to scoop it.
Ring Wraith has decided to concede. I can't say that I blame them. I would not want to sit here and watch this for any longer than I had to if I had just died in this game in that way as well. So instead of being fodder for getting beat up by Gavany powered up creatures, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. And that actually does have a tangible impact on the texture of this game that's left. Even though Ring Wraith wasn't really a player, having somebody to attack and that you needed to attack did matter to some capacity. Also, all cards that Ring Wraith had cast that were available under Dothy are no longer available, matters as well. So there's like some relevant bits going on as another Gavany activation coming through for Blonde Beast, and back to the untap we go.
Yeah, I concede, but they have the right to concede if they wish. But it does matter.
Big fan of exercising the right to concede at any time. Yeah. I'm not sure if there was a Hypnotic Betrayal or whatever left. I'm not even sure if you can Hypnotic Betrayal win through 100 copies of Dothy. I'm sorry, of Drannith Magistrate and a Dothy Voidwalker and like I'm good. Yeah, the real bits that matter as far as this goes is now the combat texture is very different, a lot less life total.
Oh, the combat texture in now the combat texture is just both time players delete Thras Oracle and they play the 1v1.
It's just like 1 turn.
Well, but that's not great, right? Because Blonde Beast is behind thanks to Scurry Oak and the just raw bodies in play. So if the Italian players are like, okay, yeah, let's team up, kill Thras Oracle, and then we'll 1v1. Well, Blonde Beast is just behind face up right now.
Yeah.
As Strangleroot Geist added to the mix, another current modern staple.
Yeah, there's basically not knowing that he has the endurance, which is
I had a DT in my hand.
All right, it sounds like we got an update from the previous match that we left, if you remember that from quite a while ago. It seems like the player that was playing the Liberator deck had some outside assistance, sounds like via stream or computer or otherwise. That is not allowed in this tournament. It is a textbook case of outside assistance underneath the Magic rules as I understand them, and of course as the judges understand them, as that player was given a game loss and sounds like is no longer a member of that pod. So 2 3-man pods left in our top 16 after our first 2 pods were done on turns 2 and 3 respectively. These 2 pods looks like they're going to proceed with 3 players until they conclude. So here we are.
Yeah, that's a tough way to go.
That's a tough way to go. I mean, you know, outside assistance is what it is. There's less risk of, you know, players behind you and all that kind of stuff in online tournaments. But of course, if you are using online sources, that is not allowed. Our judges, I'm sure, took care of that quickly and professionally, as Dismember is on the stack for Burden. Do not have a great idea of what that's targeting, as it is still floating in the air. And that one is targeting the Dothy Voidwalker. I think the Dismember should be exiled, as that is a state-based action that will kill the Dothy. Does not die to the Dismember, it dies to state-based effects. So that will Dismember, I think, should be exiled. Doesn't matter too much.
So I'll go to 7.
And
I'll
activate Gavany. Looks like it is happening once more. So now the times are unlocked.
Yes.
We've gotten rid of the Dothy. And now we're activating Chiam, and that's going to bring Command Beacon back to play. And it looks like we get another activation. Thanks to Circle of Dreams Druid floating an absolute boo koodles of mana.
We're
So
gonna
I can't tell if we're on main phase or end step, but I think we're on main phase.
Is it not end step? Or the not end step Dismember? No, I could be wrong.
You're right. Mainstays, and Knight of the Reliquary gets brought back, and it looks like we're going to move more dice around.
Another activation, another. Okay.
Okay, we're moving the counters.
Cool, because every time a creature comes into play, it gets a vigilance counters also. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we have all these Gavany counters to work with. We have all these credit counters to work with. I mean, we could do this all day.
The engine is fully online and we're just roaring here. Yeah, that was end step.
Yeah, that was all end steps. So now we need to untap with this Circle of Dreams, doing no disruption here. And now Burden, who was already wildly ahead thanks to all of these random squirrel tokens from Scurry Oak, now looks to be incredibly ahead, as we need to untap a Circle of Dreams Druid and Chiam free to do its thing. Blonde Beast does not even have time in play, thanks to that very timely Force Will from Thras Oracle earlier, who currently is just looking on with the face of someone who is not optimistic about their chances to win this game.
No, I mean, they cast their spells. Listen, they cast their spells. They play to their outs. Can't hate the guy for trying.
And here we go. There's an activation. Eternal Witness, Ranger Captain, City of Brass. I have to imagine we're going to reach for that.
Those got the Ranger,
Ranger, shut everything up and get another one. I don't know if there's any ones that add to the mix as far as combo goes, but of course, a creature could be worth a whole lot here as far as just Cradle considerations, Tyvar considerations.
Sylvan Safekeeper. I don't know if they need a dork of sorts. Oh, Carrion Feeder, Sack Outlet. Yeah, that's even better.
Oh, yeah, Carrion Feeder. Yeah, now worth a Sack Outlet. So if we find something like Tyvar, maybe Circle of Dreams Druid plus Carrion Feeder plus Tyvar can get something done as far as counters go and just being able to continually cycle through our deck. Not sure, but either way, could be worth something.
So I'm trying to see maybe if the other Tiam player can maybe do any cute interaction with something here, but I don't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there's nothing you even really want to disrupt that much yet. I mean, Tiam, I guess, but like,
yeah,
there's no wins that you need to disrupt. And the endurance from Thrash Oracle has already been used as far as like stopping anything like that from happening. But you can't wait for something to be milled and then like endurance it before it comes back. It's all part of the ability resolving. And looks like Avison's Pilgrim didn't get a great look, and Quirion Ranger going to be brought back.
So that gives you
That one with a vigilance counter. So we can return a forest on top of creature. That matters a lot for Circle of Dreams Druid.
Dream Druid, yeah.
Then we get to just, yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Wasted no time getting that forest back to hand. Maybe want to activate a little bit more before doing the Circle of Dreams Druid thing again, just to have a little bit more mana. As the credit counters reaching for them, gone. Sphere of Resistance, Eidolon of Rhetoric, and Earthcraft.
Earthcraft or Scroll? Yeah, that is Earthcraft.
Okay.
Ranger to
Now-
get another one up out of the deck. Yeah.
Ranger Captain grabs another one.
I don't
Young Wolf. So with Carrion Feeder, we can remove the counter and get a counter. So we just get a counter every single time. So one of the counters is solved. If we're getting a creature every time, that's a second counter solved. So we need to find a way to get a third counter, and we're basically there to just milling
Well,
our
the
whole
per-
deck over.
The Persist gets a counter also, right?
It's not persist. It's
No, you need to make your brother wash your clothes.
Undying. Is there another persist? creature in
Undying,
here?
sorry.
Well, yeah. So we have one counter there every single time. We have a vigilance counter that we get from our other thing every single time. But we can't like, yeah. So we're gonna get the counter right away.
This will evolve Skoriok.
There's
Oh, there's so
Oh,
many
and here's
things
our two
for them.
counters because it gets a vigilance counter when it comes in. I see. So it gets two counters. So now we get
We don't get
Tyvar, Gaze Cradle, Endurance. I think that's it.
Cradle,
Cradle
the
is a
Cradle
whole
and Circle of
Bukuzu mana.
Dreams Druid. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Bukulos of Mana. We can get the Young Wolf to get two more counters. And then we just need to remove like one counter, and we have, I mean, the credit guy can probably go through most of the rest of our deck. There's Yavi Maya, there's Gemstone Caverns, there is Misty Rainforest. What do we want back now? It's going to be, and Tyvar can untap the Circle of Dreams Druid. Yeah, we just have so much here.
Oh no, why the fuck are you gonna go for it?
Tyvar,
Would it make you feel better if I showed
Tyvar in
you?
play.
Like, would this speed things along?
No, I have the infinite, so I'll tap the circle. of
Right.
Druid.
So
now
tap
sacrifice
Circle of
the
Dreams
Young
Druid.
Wolf.
We're counting up the total amount of mana.
I'll
It's a lot.
sacrifice the Young Wolf.
All right, sack the
stuff.
Dreams Druid, buy back
Oh,
the
and
Dreams
then we can
Druid.
sack it, bring it back, activate it instance. But yeah, I think we can just
Yeah.
go through the whole deck here.
Gives-
Tyvar was certainly the missing piece to allow Circle of Dreams Druid to activate right away. We have Carrion Feeder that allows us to sacrifice the
Yeah, we're packing
Circle of
it
Dreams
up.
Druid, and then Carrion Feeder gets
I don't
counters
have
every time.
that.
Young Wolf can get counters every time. So we have the counters problem solved. We have the mana problem solved. So we can go through our whole deck. Now the question is, what are we bringing into play to win the game? And because I think the one artifact thing, right? The moon
Yeah, that
is
got
gone.
exiled. Yeah.
So what is the kill condition
uh,
now?
You get like Ewit to get the finale back. Yeah.
Looks like we're
Yes,
going.
we're
for
looking for
finding
it.
it. I think that's an Eternal Witness. Yeah, we're looking. It's in the exile zone.
All the creatures that you can get, which are 40 something.
Yeah, and even if I don't.
Sounds
think
like
I'll just put it back,
Finale
it's within-
and White
I-
Plume
I- I-
Adventurer
I can see
looping
that,
is
but you
the
have to-
current.
Well, how does
set of
finale doesn't work? 'Cause we
options.
have to draw the finale. So I guess we have
No, there's an
we
Eternal
could've-
Witness. You don't need to draw.
Eternal
There's an
Witness.
Eternal
Okay,
Witness.
sure. So Eternal Witness buys.
We
We can, yeah, we
buys
can get our whole deck in the hand here. I think that's what we're doing. I think that's why the whole deck's in the hand. And then there's endurance. You
Oh,
can shuffle
the
stuff
endurance
back in.
shuffles.
This is
There's
so I'll endurance myself.
oh, you can
the-
also do like a
draw.
deck you loop
Yeah.
with Lauren,
Yes,
and then with like Grand Abolish and all that stuff. Okay, yeah, you can deck everybody with Lauren, and you can keep yourself from decking with endurance. So you just, yeah, here's the endurance loop where you endurance yourself, put it back in, draw them both, or rather put them both into play with
Oh.
tie 'em. It's slow. It's some get wrong stuff. This seems like your speed. I don't know what you're all
Wow.
molding about over there.
Listen,
this seems like exactly
don't
the
you
kind of
dare
BS
put
you would
my-
do to people.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right. We're
Yeah.
good. I had a land in hand.
Deck your opponents with Lauren. I have to say, that's my first time seeing that. I tell you what, that is some spicy
All
stuff
right,
right there. The
That's
Lauren
pretty cool.
deck everybody using endurance. It's like time twister loops without time twister.
Get some good
Sign me
stuff.
up. I love it. I love it.
Except for you,
Decking
you
with
gotta go
Lauren.
to top 4. Congrats.
Talk to me. All right.
All right.
Well,
Burden
that
is
is going to
into
do
the
it.
finals.
Burden, your first copy of Tyam has entered the finals pod,
Yep.
joining one other non-blue player. There's, of course, if you remember from all that time ago, Ian. No, not Ian. Ian's not piloting Kinnan. Ian died to the Kinnan deck, which is
Kinnan,
actually kind of
Ping.
ironic.
Ping,
And
Ping,
yeah,
Ping made it.
Ping has made it to the final pod on Kinnan.
Yep.
Then we have
Timna
Timna Tana. Thank you. I knew it was non-blue. I could not remember the other partner's name.
Timna
So that was
Tana
also a long
Hulk.
time. But Timna Tana Hulk in the finals pod. I think a repeat from a finals we had either last time or the time before. Seen quite a bit of the Timna Tana deck, seeing a lot of success here, usually in the hands of, I think, Sharky, but don't quote me on that. And now, first copy of Tyam. So only one blue deck in the finals after a top 16 flooded with blue. We will get a look one more time at that pod that, of course, had that rather linky judge call. And last time we checked in, had, I believe it was Zen doing a lot of winning with the Tyam deck as well.
So there's a potential of
actually concluded.
There's a potential of double Tyam.
It could potentially be double Tyam. I'm gonna get an update for you real quick on what the result of that pod.
Oh no, the finals pod is Zen 1. So the final pod is Zen, Tuka, Ping, and I'm not sure who Big TP is. But Big
So Hulk double Tyam Kinnan?
That sounds like the pod. That is our finals pod.
What is going on with Tyam?
Green!
Shiny, what is going on?
Green everywhere.
What is going on? Why? I have never seen so much time in my life. And I still don't know any of the cards do with Shiny. I don't know what any of them do. I have to read every card twice. I just don't know.
Listen, we just saw Tyam draw the table out with a Lauren. What you want? Brewer's advantage, sir. No one knows what is happening at the table. You know what's happening.
We watched Ian beat up on a pod of 3 Tyam decks in round 1, 2 Mox Masters ago. That was the end of it. That was the end of it. I didn't want to see any more time after that.
The deck went into the lab, fine-tuned, came back with solved. Absolutely. The deck is solved.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. What we're going to do now is we're going to have a short break, and then we will bring you what I know everyone in chat is waiting for. That's more Tyam action in our finals pod. We are going to take a quick break, and then Sean and I will bring you all the action here very shortly. Don't go anywhere.